Hey everyone, we're back at it again. Today we're going to look at how to actually build a campaign. So I'm just going to walk you through some of the light level elements of it. Nothing too crazy today, so just be wary. So I get questions all the time like, how do I drive more traffic to my site? How do I get more sales? How do I do this? How do I do that? And one great way to do all this is to use some paid advertising on top of whatever else you're doing. And Facebook makes it really easy. So when you actually come into the campaign, it asks for, choose your campaign, special ad categories, things like that. But then they have these goal types. So you want brand awareness, reach, video views, etc. Right? So if you have an app, you can do app installs. And this is kind of the three buckets that they fall into, right? So what I do if I just want to get a lot of new people filling up the pipeline is I'll either do store traffic or traffic. And this allows me to get people to see whatever I'm trying to put out there and to click on it and to actually visit and do what I want them to do, right? If I'm looking for bottom of the funnel type of stuff, then I'll go to catalog sales. If I'm looking for mid-range and to actually get hot leads and things like that, I'll do lead gen. But typically I'll do a traffic or brand awareness or something in these top ones right here just to expand out and really get a lot of new people into my network. So for today, we're going to do traffic. And if you're doing Amazon or anything like that, what I suggest is doing traffic. If you have a product on Amazon, you want to drive ads to that Amazon page. A couple things is one, drive it right to the page. You can, that's great. That's a lot more page views that you get onto it, and it works out great. If you have a new product, I highly suggest doing this and Google Ads because Google Ads will show up on a broad base of websites, and Facebook is primarily on Facebook, obviously. And what that does is it shows Amazon that you're sending people from all over the internet straight to that page. So that's just a little pro tip on why I use both when I launch a product. But again, we're going to start off with traffic here. Scroll down, we're going to put a name. I'm just going to put in traffic test. And you can do split tests here. So you can do essentially two different sets of creative and test between the two. You can also do that a little bit later on. And you can do budget optimization to where you put in either a lifetime or a daily. Completely up to you. I like to do a lifetime and see how that rides out. But if I have a client who's really pushing, I'll do a daily goal so it resets every time. And we can kind of optimize on the daily set. So I'm not going to do that today. And again, I'll just rename this one test so they all tie together. We're driving them to a website. And in the other video on how to create an audience using Audience Insights, you can pull those in right here. And essentially what you do is you just type in the name of the audience that you have right there, right? So pretty simple. Now, if you want to create an audience, you can do that in here as well. So you can go in, hit edit, and start to type in things. So if you're doing one that's like lawn care, you can start to type in lawn care specialists. So if you have a product that you are selling to the specialist, that's what you do. Or if you're a lawn care specialist looking for people who buy products, like you want to sell them fertilizers and things like that, I would start targeting some of the brands, some of the interests, gardening, some of the broad-based stuff like that. And again, I don't do a lot of this here. I do that in Audience Insights because it allows me to get a lot more granular. And stay tuned. I actually have a tool coming that allows you to get even more granular and to manage your Facebook ads even easier. Any languages, any connections, you can save this audience out. Now, depending on your creative that you're going to do, if you're going to do a still picture, I would suggest editing your placements. Facebook likes to deliver them in all places, but when I actually do this, I get lower engagement, lower responses. It's just kind of a waste of money. So I actually kill a lot of these off to where I get a really tight, just a few different segments here. So video feeds, right hand column, interest explorer, get that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Just get rid of the whole set, and in-stream is gone too. Because I mean, if I'm doing a picture, I'm not going to do a video. But it all comes down to your mix. So I'll actually keep it pretty narrow so I can keep my targets pretty defined as far as where they actually see the creative. And one more thing to know is as you adjust all this stuff with the audience and the distribution of the ads and placements, notice your estimated daily reach. This tells you roughly how many people are going to click on that based off the ad, the distribution, etc. So like if I change my budget to $5 a day, this is going to go down dramatically versus say $20 a day. I mean, it just gives you a really good indicator on where you're going to be with the distribution of your ads. And here, I always like to do this if I can off of clicks. It allows me to just quantify it that people are actually doing something for the dollars that I do it. If I'm just going to get a lot of people to look at my creative, then sometimes I'll just do impressions and that just goes nuts. That gets a lot of people in. But again, myself, I like to quantify my spend, so I actually do it off link clicks. And you can show more options and go down here and see what I mean. So like you get charged when people see it. I actually change that to link clicks. Now, if you're a new account, they don't actually let you do that until you run advertising for, I believe it's about 2 weeks now. So you'll be kind of forced to do the impression rate, and that's just to get new people into your network, into your area of your Facebook. So we'll hit continue. And this is where you can go ahead and pick whether you're selecting what Facebook pages you're sending to, what creative you're using. Is it a single post? Is it a collection? Is it carousel? Is it instant experience? What the media looks like? And then you put in your title. And you can test various versions of this. This is what I like about Facebook now. Back in the day, you couldn't really do this. Each of these would have to be a completely different ad. But you can add in options and test written creative against itself and visual creative. You just add photos into there, and then you can see it in all these different views, right? So there's your Instagram feeds and your Facebook feeds, and then you put in your website here. And you put in your website here for what you're actually where you actually want to send them. And what I suggest doing is either using a Pixelfy or Bitly or something like that, or building a UTM link and actually dropping it in so it attributes back, right? And then this is just what you want the link to show. So if you have like Bitly and it's sending to your Amazon, then you'll just write Amazon.com right here. Call to actions, test that. I've seen them work, seen them not. I've had both. And then one thing I want to note on is down here, if you have any errors, you can hit fix error and it takes you up to it. Notice I haven't filled anything in, so I'm going to have a lot of errors. But this is your best friend if you're getting a lot of issues. And if you do get issues, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. I'm happy to help. But this is going to tell you kind of what's going on, the pulse check of the ad. So that's how to create an ad. Very simple. If you have further questions, please let me know. I make videos on all the questions that I'm asked. I've been doing Facebook ads for years now, better half of a decade, and love it because it's such a great tool to use and very, very, very effective. Thanks, everyone.